up, nation? It is Tuesday, and today's PDS is brought to you by a random dashboard camera somewhere in Russia.
This is a news show.
One, those cows did not die, even though, they probably eventually did die. And two, let's talk about everything that mattered on the interwebs today. Game of Thrones is teaming up with a brewing company in New York to give you, hey, why not, Game of Thrones beer. First up is going to be Iron Throne Blonde Ale. It'll be available in March just before the premiere, and most likely whines a lot and maybe sometimes beats women, and is also the most hated thing on the show. I hate that kid more than Dana from Homeland times Carl and his mom in season 2 of The Walking Dead. Like, that much. But yay, alcoholism and or safe drinking, but probably alcoholism. There were more shootings in America, which actually it's not true. There are just as many shootings. It's just that the media is reporting on more of them because of things happening like the Sandy Hook Elementary shooting. One was from the other day where a guy was gonna start opening fire on a movie theater, but then a cop that was off duty just shot him once and he was like, well, you're dead and not going to hurt anyone else ever again. Then Bill Murray was on the cover of GQ magazine, and then everyone for like 5 seconds was like, oh yeah, Bill Murray's awesome. I forgot about that for like 3 seconds. Also, as a side note, I may be in the minority, but I'm really glad that he has not signed on for the new Ghostbusters movie. It just seems like there's too much room for failure. Then for our not-so-secret sexy gallery of the day, I present Rosalie Ocho, who was recommended by a user that did not want to be named. So to you, faceless warrior, I salute you. Link to that gallery down below. Then in news, because I imagine someone at Facebook was like, I don't think people are starting to hate us enough. Advertising Age reports that by April at the latest, advertisers will be able to target video ads in users' news feeds on desktop and mobile Facebook. Even better, just in case you were like, oh, well, I don't have to click on ads, the ads will be on autoplay. As of recording this video, Facebook reps could not be reached for comment, but if they had been reached, I imagine their response would have been, wait, you guys don't like ads? You don't like ads. Oh. And I'm starting to understand the general disdain towards Facebook. It's like if you were like hanging out with a friend, you're like, hey, yeah, I got a new iPhone. And then your friend's like, oh, let me see that iPhone. Oh, there's one thing I want to change about this. It's there we go, I think that's better, here you go. I don't know what I'm talking about, except Instagram's new privacy policy. Or what many photographers, models, famous people are calling it, and that is a suicide note. Because the company that was purchased by Facebook has released a new terms of service that will take effect January 16th, and they read some things that make sense, like 1, no porn. 2, you need to be 13 years or older. But 3, some or all of the service may be supported by advertising revenue. To help us deliver interesting paid or sponsored content or promotions, you agree that a business or other entity may pay us to display your username, likeness, photos, along with any associated metadata and or actions you take in connection with paid or sponsored content or promotions without any compensation to you. Also, you acknowledge that we may not always identify paid services, sponsored content, or commercial communications as such. So what all of this means is that while Instagram does not own your pictures per se, I love saying per se, you are giving them the ability to sell your pictures. I asked you guys on Twitter what you thought. Are you leaving Instagram if this goes into effect? And a lot of people were like, yes, I'm done. I mean, what if someone uses a picture of myself or my kids and it's on like a dating or some weird website? And also, I don't get paid for it? That's bull. But what seems to be a minority are saying, no, I'm gonna stay with the service. It is a free service, it's a great community, and we're using their servers when we upload pictures. They have to make money somehow. But I guess the super main point to this story is, who is the loser in this situation? Well, it's Instagram. And who is the winner in this situation? Well, it's Instagram. Because out of their already massive community, the people that are leaving are essentially saying, I'm taking my not money somewhere else. Which I imagine Instagram, or rather Facebook's gonna be like, what? You're not gonna be filling our servers with your images that we can't monetize? Aw, shucks. Granted, they will lose photographers who do not spend extra time copywriting or adding like a watermark on their images that have nothing to gain from the extra promotion that Instagram would maybe give a new photographer. But I think Instagram's fine with that, even though I think it would be smarter if they would just do a rev split with the people that use their product, and that they would have to inform the person that their image was being used. Because a good majority of those crazy internet folks just don't like things happening without their knowledge and or permission. That's all. But guys, that's what I think. I'd love to know what you guys think. Are you gonna leave this service? If other services are like this, would you leave them as well? Or no, is this the price we pay for a free service? Do you think they'll back down? Words and stuff and things. Let me know in the comments down below. Then in oh my craziness news, do you know the guy that hacked Scarlett Johansson and then leaked her nude pictures? Well, he was just sentenced to 10 years in jail. To which much of the nation said, what? We're putting that man in jail? We should award him a medal. Like, Scarlett Johansson's pictures were released because her then husband Ryan Reynolds' email was hacked. But being able to see a different version of Scarlett Johansson aside, it was a very creepy thing. It wasn't just one time. The 35-year-old Christopher Chaney pled guilty to 9 counts of computer hacking and wiretapping for the unauthorized access of email accounts of 50 people in the entertainment industry. Other notable celebrities that he had hacked: Christina Aguilera, Renee Olstead. We remember these pictures. We've talked about them in the past. I mean, you look at this guy, Chris Chaney, and you're like, you did this? You hacked people and released nudes and did not murder someone and maybe put them in your freezer because that's what you look like. You look like a guy who maybe has the capacity in him to do that. So compared to that, you did like nothing wrong. And the reason this is such a massive deal is it has taken this thing that we were like, oh, well, those people probably released those pictures on their own. That Kim Kardashian don't feel bad for the victims sort of mentality. And more of the mindset that even though these women took these pictures and they shared these pictures personally, that it was still private, and even though it was digital, this is still considered theft. That through the fascination of these beautiful and famous women that we have created things like the stalkerazzi. That we've created these people that physically or digitally steal these personal moments, these personal things from people's cell phones, their computers. And I think a sentence this severe will scare people away from doing this in the future, but at the same time, there is still going to be a lot of money in it, so maybe this won't change anything. So Nation, another question to you. Do you think the 10 years was too much? Do you think he deserved more? Do you think this changes anything? Remember to possibly win a $100 Amazon gift card. Leave a comment down below. Join the conversation. Maybe hit the like button, favorite if you really like it. And of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.